Hi everyone, happy Sabbath. I'm here today to tell you your children's story. So as you've noticed, the days are getting a little bit warmer and the days are getting a little bit longer, and that's because summer's about to start. And even though right now we are technically still in school, some of you are doing your school through online classes. As a teacher, I'm teaching my classes through the computer also. But in a few weeks, it will be summer break. So the story I have to tell you today is about a brother and sister who went to go visit their grandpa and grandma for the summer. Every summer, Bobby and Terry would go and spend the summer with grandma and grandpa. They lived on a beautiful farm. Well, on grandpa's farm, one of the things that he planted are pumpkins. As you can see, there's a picture of pumpkins, and this is what pumpkin seeds look like. I'm sure some of you have seen them before. You've probably even eaten them. Sometimes we put salt on them, we dry them, and they're very yummy. So, for this story, this summer, Bobby and Terry were with their grandma and grandpa. It was summertime, school was over. Where they live, it was a little bit warmer, and they loved going there because grandma and grandpa had a nice sized pond. They had a big tree by the pond, and there was a tire hanging on the tree. So Bobby and Terry loved to climb into the tire. They'd swing and they'd jump into the lake. Well, this one day, Bobby gets up early. He's all ready to go to the pond. But Grandpa says, "Hold on, Bobby. Remember, before we can go play, we need to do some planting. We need to take care of our farm first." And he said, "Bobby, you're going to plant pumpkins today." So Bobby wasn't too happy about that because he was really looking forward to going to the pond. But he was with Grandpa and he wanted to do what Grandpa asked him to do. So while Terry stayed home with Grandma, they were baking bread and getting things ready for a big breakfast. Bobby and Grandpa go up to the top of the hill where Grandpa would plant his pumpkins. He had a big lot there ready for pumpkins to be planted, and Grandpa had already dug the lines where Bobby was going to put the seeds on. He had made little holes so that Bobby can put in the seeds that he needed to put in. He said, Grandpa told him, "Bobby, I'll be back in an hour. I'm going to go back and take care of the cows and some of the other things I need to do. And by then you should be done planting these seeds, and then we're going to go to the pond after breakfast." Well, Bobby was out there planting the seeds, and Grandpa had told him, "Remember, Bobby, you're only going to put 2 seeds in each little hole. Not more than that, because the pumpkins grow pretty big and they need a lot of space. So make sure you don't plant them too close together. Put them exactly where I told you." Well, Bobby started putting 2 seeds in each hole, just like Grandpa had told him. He went up and down the rows, but all he could think about was going to that pond. And, and so when he realized that planting 2 little seeds one at a time was taking way too long, he started dropping 5 seeds and then 10 seeds. And pretty soon he was dropping like whole handfuls of seeds at a time because he just wanted to finish and go back home so he can go to the pond with his friends and Grandpa. About 40 minutes later, he comes running down the hill and into the barn where Grandpa is. And he says, "Grandpa, Grandpa, I'm all done. I planted all the pumpkin seeds." And Grandpa said, "Really? I thought for sure it was going to take you at least an hour to go up and down those few rows that I left there for you. That was pretty fast, Bobby. Are you sure you planted everything?" He said, "Grandpa, I planted all of the seeds just like you told me." So they went in the house, they had breakfast, and then Grandpa took Bobby and his friends and Terry to the pond because they were going to go swimming. And they were so excited. They had such a great day. It was a nice warm day. They had a great time. They went back, and Bobby didn't say a word about the pumpkins. Well, a few weeks later, as the summer went on, Grandpa goes up to see how the pumpkins are doing. And when he gets there, he sees that the pumpkins are sprouting. They're coming up from the ground way too soon. And he realizes that Bobby wasn't being honest with him. He said, "I don't think Bobby put in just 2 seeds like I asked him to. It looks like Bobby added way too many and too close to each other. So he goes down to the house and he calls Bobby. He says, Bobby, can you come up to the top of the hill with me? I want to go check on the pumpkin patch. So Bobby goes up to the top of the hill with Grandpa. And when they get there, they realize that, Bobby sees that the sprouts are coming up wrong, that they're just too close together, that they're all tangled up. And he remembers that he had thrown too many seeds on the ground, way more than Grandpa told him. And Grandpa asked him, he said, Bobby, did you plant these seeds the way I asked you to? Did you put just 2 seeds in each hole like I asked you to and make sure they were spaced apart? And Bobby knew that he had to tell the truth. He felt really bad for what he did. He said, Grandpa, I'm so sorry. I was in such a hurry to go to the pond with my friends, and I just didn't want to take the time to do it as you told me to. It was taking too long. So yeah, I did throw in way more than you told me to. And Grandpa said, Bobby, you see what's going on here? This farm is very important. This is how we grow our food, and I want you to learn to do the things the right way. So Bobby, I'm going to need you to spend this morning with me digging all of these plants up and replanting, reseeding all of the pumpkins over again, because we need to have a good crop in the fall. So Bobby was a little disappointed because he had already made plans with his friends to go back to the pond, but he knew that he had to do the right thing. And he knew that the right thing was to help Grandpa and to do things the correct way.